All right, so today's video, we have a Plat 2 tank on PC playing Domina. So it'll be nice to see a Domina game here. And they say, this game was pretty frustrating to me. I played Domina the whole game and was considering swapping, but I didn't know what to swap to play into their comp. I felt that my DPS weren't helping destroy the other team's Domina shield and that we were getting DPS stiffed. I don't know how much else on what I could do to try and push for the win. I think I need to work on my positioning a bit more, and I know my ability / ult usage isn't the greatest. Still, I feel that no matter how well I played this game, we would have still lost. One DPS and one support blame me. So I'm mainly looking for some tips on how to improve my gameplay or how to use my ult more effectively. I feel that we may have lost 2 or 3 pushes because of me, and I could have done much better. We didn't really have team comms, which is probably the main reason why we lost. I got placed Plat 2 and have been winning on and off, so I'm looking for tips on how to climb out. My Sigma SR is a tad bit low due to the fact that I usually swap him when we're losing to try and be more aggressive. Well, I don't worry too much about Hero SR. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. Let's figure it out. Saying hello to all your teammates, I see. Okay, be careful standing still there. There's a Widow. Okay. Yep. Right after that turret form, you put your shield down. Okay, so let's talk about this already. Like one of your first complaints you had was, hey, like my teammates, you know, aren't shooting the shield. You're going against a Bastion. So already, I don't care what team, like if you don't have, that Bastion will probably do more to the shield than the Ashe and the Cass can. So what you should do with your shield is try to time them around the turret form, right? And that's kind of what I've been doing, at least whenever I play. Is like I basically play my shield around that turret form. Because you're going to lose the shield advantage against what they're running. Also, you don't have the range for them. Okay, but like another thing though, let's talk about this because I think this is kind of important. Like you want to help your teammates, right? The Widow's killing your Ana. You're recognizing this is happening. You see the Ana on the angle. You were clearly looking at the Ana, and you have option number 2. Just use your shield to help your teammates, right? Like you are. One thing I need you to think about in these situations that is it's a team game, right? So in that situation, the first one, your Ana getting picked off, that was on your Ana, right? The second one, you have the opportunity to kind of play this shield in a way that you angle it this way, right? At this corner. So that way you have a backup spot and it also will help this side, right? See? So you could put a shield like right here that would go here, block off these sides, and then your Ana won't die to the Widow. The Widow's going to be forced to take a more aggressive off angle this way. And then when that happens, now your teammates have the opportunity to follow up and get a kill. But again, I'm already watching you try to basically just shield for shield. And I think that's what's getting you killed, right? Like right now, like look at the shield timing. Like, it doesn't matter how much they shoot the Domina, right? This just shield, it won't matter because your shields are a little bit off so far. Yep, and now you're going to get grinded down. There's your shield. That's just fine, you have to, right? But I would have, again, you need to think about what your shields are blocking. I would want to basically block off this way, but I wouldn't want to put my shield into here now because they have the map control. I would try to put the shield right here and then kind of tiptoe the point. So right now, your shields are a little bit more forward aggressive than I would like. I want to kind of point out to people learning Domina right now. And, like, I'm still winning on this character a lot when I do play Domina in, like, top 500 games. You have to understand that your downtime of your shield, you can basically just do nothing. Like, unless your team is winning the team fight. So, you know, I see you trying to go for the Widow pick, but you're not understanding the range. Oh, great. That's going to be good to have. So now you have a 9-second window with no shield. Two more seconds, no shield right now. Okay, now you're running up here, right? Okay, you're going to shield between that. Okay, they have a Bastion. They made a Venn diagram. That's kind of cool. Okay. Yep, you don't have your shield, so don't peek. Look at your HP. It's tough. And I know it kind of sucks to have to play that, but I'll pause in a second here to kind of explain it. So basically what happened with Domina is that when they made the changes to Domina's shield HP, it made Domina a little bit worse on the shield, right? You're going to need a little bit more help. That was fine. But then after a little bit, they also nerfed the time in between your shield. So right now, there's about a 6-second downtime on your shield, which means that your shield goes up, has about an 8-second window, right? And then there's about a 6-second time where you don't have your shield. It used to be, I think, 5 seconds, which was actually a really good sweet spot of like, you can play back and forth between this. But now with this timing, you have to play corners and you have to play your shield efficiently. If you don't do that, and like you're only relying on your teammates to shoot the shield, and you're going against a Bastion, you're not going to have a good time against that, right? So you need to play corners. You need to put your shield down at the appropriate times. Again, against a Bastion, there's two ways I'm going to go about this. If the Bastion hasn't used turret form yet, I'm going to try to save it. If they have a Widow, which of course they have a Widow, you then have to worry about your teammates and use it a little bit sooner, which means that your gameplay is going to be more like back up than aggressive. If you play this close to a Domina, the Bastion most of the time is going to shred your shield and then shred you. So you need to think about, okay, my shield's here. I'm going to poke from this distance, but I'm always going to have to back up to here. Do you see the multi-layer here? See what I'm saying? So like, if you put your shield up here and you take the team fight against the Bastion, you're going to fall over. So you want to back up here. You want to put your shield up here, and then your next shield will be here, is what I mean. But you'll have a 6 second downtime just sitting right here. And you're going to wait, you're going to wait, you're going to wait, and then you're going to do it again. But anyway, just something to look at with the Domina gameplay. Is like, you're not always going to be in an advantageous spot on Domina versus Domina to where you need your teammates to play, like, kill the other shield. So it's something to really take into account. Like, you can try to blame your DPS all day long for not shooting the shield in the same way they are, but you have ways to kind of, like, make it a little bit easier. Like right here, like this shield, right? Let's talk about the shield, right? It's time. So let's see what happens if the shield ends up being a problem. Thankfully, it looks like your teammate has an off angle, but now you're stuck. Now you have no shield for, what, 4 seconds? You're in the middle of the open, right? And there's a Bastion right there. Now your shield's gonna go down mid-Bastion form. See the problem? Do you see why I want you to time, like, all of that stuff? If you keep peeking this, you're gonna fall over. Like, you have no shield for another 4 seconds, see? This is on your positioning. Now, it doesn't mean that your teammates can't do a better job in some areas, but everything I'm seeing is like on you. Like this so far, it's really just like you're not recognizing the comp you're going against. You're not tempoing your shield in the way that needs to be tempoed. Like even there, like there's no point. Like truthfully, I get your idea right there, but what is that going to do? Now you're just in the same spot. Maybe you save your shield and you get aggressive after, but now you don't have a shield. Now you're done. You're that's it. No one can save you there. This is something that I had to learn really quickly on Domina, is that you're going to have some downtime. And once you do that, you can win a lot of games. I mean, like I said, I'm still winning on Domina pretty well on top 500 when she's not banned. And it's basically because I just have that patience level on that. I'm just hiding and chilling. So, yeah. Here we go. Still waiting. Okay, you have an ultimate. This could be your timing. Are you gonna wait? Okay. Still waiting. Okay, there's her shield. Remember, you're not... There you go. You hit behind a wall. That's good. Now this is a good shield. Good job. Yep. Now remember, you have teammates too, so you're gonna want to try to put maybe an ultimate out here at one point. Like, they're just right there. Okay. Got the kill. Good job. Chat. Let's talk about this. You want to know what the difference was here, by the way, with you and Domina? You use cover. See, I would, by the way, if you wanted to know, I would have used your ultimate much sooner than that. I feel like you played that way too risky, and a lot of right now, at least from what I'm gathering from watching you, I think you're just waiting for your teammates to make a play, and you're not willing to make a play yourself. And maybe some of that is because you're misplaying a lot on your shield, so you're constantly on your back foot. But I want to reiterate to you, this team fight went so well. You want to know why? You ready? You're just right here. You played a corner, so your cooldowns are fine, which means you minimize the damage you take, and your teammates didn't have to worry about just like keeping you alive. So I'm okay with this shield because I don't think you're going to need it. Okay, we got to talk about this. You have a boop, and there's an Ana right here, and you're not using your cooldowns. That Ana should have been off the map. 100%. Like, think about this. There's literally an Ana sitting right here. You have an ability to send them off the map, and you wait to use it later on when she's not there. So again, you can like I said, you can like look at, you know, your DPS and, you know, this and that, but it feels like right now your playstyle is very safe. You're not trying to make plays. You're just trying to drop your shield and hope that, and again, like, let's think about this. You don't have anything to survive that. All you need to do on your rotation here, you ready? Watch this. Rotate this way. And guess what? Now you're back here in a safe spot. Do you see? Now you're back here in a safe spot. Think about that. All right? Domina's cooldown usage is very similar to how you play Orisa. And Orisa is a hero that you probably see a lot of people pick, but also has it has the lowest win rate in all of Overwatch. And I usually account that, right? I usually account that for bad cooldown usage and just playing in the middle of the open, right? You notice how even here, where you have a Domina on you, how like right there you were taking so much less damage for a while? Obviously your teammates need to help you here, but like that's why it's so important. You put a shield behind you, which I mean I guess that's for the Domina. There you go. Nice. Remember you're also just remember just hide. You're good. Now put a shield up for your Bastion in a second. Now you have a Bastion. Shield. Yes, use your crystal. You're okay. I gotta pause for a second. I want you to use your crystal more because I feel like you're so willing to use your shield. You need to flip your mindset, I think, on what cooldowns you use, okay? So let me kind of give you an idea here, okay? The crystal you can use more frequently. It also heals you and sustains you. The shield you need to use at the right timings and then play corners. You're doing the opposite. Like, you just need to, like, send that out more. You're going to do more damage. You're going to get quicker ultimates. You're going to heal yourself more. Like, right now, you have about 1,500 self-healing. There, just to give you an idea, you have 1,500 self-healing. Their Domina, as of right now, who I've watched use that cooldown a ton, has 3,100 self-healing. You're getting doubled up on that, right? You don't need a shield to get the self-heal. You need to hit your crystals to get that. So just to kind of point that out. That's a huge difference. Yep, bad positioning. Again, it's... You need to understand that you've already stopped their momentum. You need to back up and get to a wall, and then by the time they get there, right now, you would have had your shield up. Then you would put your shield down. So, there you go. The next WCS matches are tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern. Okay, shield up, shield up, shield up. Now, ult. Thank you. Great ultimate. I'm very glad you took advantage of that. Crystal, that's fine. You got 2 kills. Boom. Great ultimate there, by the way. That was great. You recognize they were out of position. You made a play. Awesome. Great play. Good job. Very happy with that one. Gonna get some tea ready for the reveal. Let's go. Okay, I'm still watching. Shield up. Shield up. You gotta back away. Okay, here. Do not... one thing I don't want you to do. Do not shield up here right now. Let me explain why. If you shield up here, you have no escape, which means you're gonna have to go this way. And if they get back in time with this Domina, you are going to fall over. So I don't mind you playing aggressive here, but you need to cross over to here ASAP. If you have a Domina here all the time, the Domina will fall over it. For Sigma, it's a little bit different, right? You can maneuver around here. You have more shields. You can drop your shield as you go. That's different. Domina, you have to position yourself correctly. If you use your shield here, it's going to look cool because you're going to have a bunch in front of you. But there you go. You rotate out. Perfect. Good job. Now shield up, shield up, shield up. There you go. Now, use your boop. AoE, crystal, in front of you. Crystal. There you go. But like, you just lost all the... Shield up, shield. Okay, target focus. Okay. Crystal... In this situation, by the way, you have range. Did you pick, like, what do you have? Let's see. You picked the range? No, did you pick the range perk? Actually, you didn't pick the range perk, did you? Pick the regen. Okay, that's something. Basically, I would have backed up there, by the way, and played the choke. This is a very advantageous choke right here, and then you can still do the range to get the kills. You have your number one problem is you're mismanaging your cooldowns. And like I said, you can try to blame your DPS all day long or like look at it that way, but it's really not going to matter if your cooldown management is like this. Because you said you keep winning games and losing games. It's because you play a very inconsistent play style, and a lot of it is you're going to be using your ult here, right? Yep, didn't even think about it. I could tell right away. Okay, so your number one problem is you don't manage your cooldowns well. And until you manage your cooldowns on Domina, you're going to have this like kind of pendulum swing of back and forth gameplay. Straight up. Like there were so many moments here where you could have easily taken over a team fight or easily just made a play, and you're so hesitant on making those plays. You need to use your abilities more, right? Keep in mind, when I say your abilities, I'm not going to talk about your shield in this situation, but there's so many opportunities for you to use crystal, and they're like, I can give you a strategy. They're right in front of you, throw a crystal behind them, punch them back into it. Now you do a bunch of extra damage. Now you're getting a ton of value. Also, I love the range perk on these maps. I'm not going to argue, against like the other perk you're choosing, but if you're playing a map like Circuit Royale, it's very common to play against snipers. That perk has allowed me to literally win team fights because I can snipe a sniper basically at like a medium range. So something to think about on maps. Like, you're playing a King's Row, okay, you don't want to deal with that. I get it. Like, honestly, third point, I would still like the range one, but I'm just using that as like an example for like how that map plays. Okay, you can maybe get away with the regen one, but that range one is pretty damn good. That's something to keep in mind, all right? Okay, here we go. See how your attack goes. This is what I'm talking about. You're not. You cannot play in the middle of the. This is going to be for any rank, by the way. You cannot play in the middle of the open as tanks like Domina and Orisa. Okay, and I know that I keep bringing up Orisa, but this is a great time to segue into seeing the exact same mistakes being made in these ranks. Play corners, okay? If your shield is here, this is where you're playing from for now, right? You can go here a little bit, right maybe here, but stop going here. You don't have the shield for that. You cannot be able to survive this, right? This is not because they're shooting your teammate's shield, the Domina shield. It's because you're wide swinging. And you got to stop doing that. You're going to keep falling over to that if you keep playing that way. So, all right. Now wait, no shield, no shield. You don't have to take any damage. Yep. Okay. This is fine if you want to do the Venn diagram, but you have to follow it up with a crystal right now. There you go. Now wait, 2 seconds. This is where I would be saying, wait 1 second. And then you put your shield up, And then now use a crystal once you get it. 3 seconds. I want you to crystal right where they're all at behind that car. Right now. Just throw a crystal there. The car doesn't move. Okay. Yeah, you're just not having that gameplay flow going the way that it should. You're very hesitant and you do a lot of almost reactionary plays. Again, play corners. I'm telling you. Do not shield. Do not shield. Do not shield. There you go. We got to talk about this. I want to give you a kind of a goal on how to do this. Your goal, okay? Your next goal is to get to here without dying. That is your goal. A lot of people do this. Their goal is to get to here, okay? Domina is not that type of tank. Domina needs to take the map in pieces, okay? So let me kind of show you. Okay, so say you get here. You go here next. Now you're at this part of the map, okay? What are you going to do with this? You can either have your shield up here, take an angle and start shooting them. Well, you go, well, what if your shield dies? Then you rotate up here. Now you have high ground. If they stay up here, you have a free kill. You can then decide to put a shield here or a shield up here, poke them out, and force them back here. Do you see how you've done this in 3 parts? You ready? Starting here, moving here, make a decision off how they go, end up here, and then they're all the way back here, and you've done that in literally 3 shield cooldowns. That's it. All you needed to do was in 3. You are basically putting your shield down and then standing in the middle of the open. Look at their point of view of you. You're an easy kill. It's not that hard. Nothing will save you here outside of the cart, right? But they're going to be able to do a ton of damage to you in the meantime, right? You can't do anything. Now, people go, hey, I'm having trouble getting across to that part of the map. They are just absolutely dominating me, right? I can't get there. There's nothing I can do. Though there is something you can do. You ready? There's another option. Either A, you can push across to here, and you're like, why go here? Are you ready? There's a window right here. You can literally get to this spot by just dropping down here. You put a shield right here as you go down. Anybody out of position gets killed too. See? Yes, there's a whole rotation here you can do. See? You can even go right here if you wanted to and push up. I wouldn't recommend that, but I have many times, if I can't get across here, you can do that. Heck, you can do it even better. You ready? Go this way. Look it. Then you end up here, drop your shield down, same thing. There's many rotations to go this way and take the window spot. See? It's not utilized a lot. So there's many options. Just stop running in the middle of the open, because otherwise you're going to make it tough. What happens when you get Domina ulted? Everybody should shoot the Domina ult. That's the easiest way to counter the ultimate. Shoot your teammates when they have the ultimate on them. I get that shield. I'm not going to contest that. Yeah, by the way, it's okay to like have your teammate heal you up there for some ult charge, but you're fine. I mean, we'll see. Okay. Will you take a different path this time? Let's find out. Crystal now. Now. Crystal. 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 Oh, man. This is what I mean. Like, Domina, what makes Domina so strong is your ability to burst damage like this. Okay? It's the ability to burst damage like that. Literally just hit a button, burst damage. Hit a button, burst damage, right? You're not taking advantage of that. So when they're all stacked, you're just sitting there, and then you wait to the last possible second. It's like you're almost using your crystal defensively because it heals you. But I promise you, the more aggressive you are with your crystal, you sustain yourself, right? This is just to kind of give you an idea. And I want to get people in this mindset of this. You don't use the crystal to heal yourself from 10 HP. You use the crystal to keep yourself above 50% HP, right? That's an easy way to look about it. You're not using it to heal yourself when you're low. You're using it to pressure them, do damage, do burst damage, and heal yourself to stay above that, to sustain your HP to full HP. And I think your mindset is, well, if I'm really low, then I'm going to use my crystal. Think about what the crystal does, right? You throw it in there, it does a bunch of damage. If they stay in it, you benefit. But if they back away, that's less pressure on your team. And that's why every time I'm watching you not use this right away, is an extra second of like, you're just missing out on damage. You're missing out on healing. And their Domina, who has been using those cooldowns like crazy, look at their scoreline, okay? 19,000 damage, 5,300 healing. I watched them using their cooldowns like it's like they outside of their shield, they're using it like crazy. Let's go to your stat line, right? And I don't usually look at stat lines too aggressively, but this is a clear-cut difference in this one, right? 12,000 damage and 2,500 healing. Right? And the difference is their Domina is willing to just pop their stuff on cooldown while you're playing all hesitant. And no matter what you say about your DPS at that point, this is the type of stuff that can happen. So, I'm sorry, wrong button. How does she heal? It's when the crystal does damage. You can bring like your shields back or something, so you gotta like sustain yourself. Again, the idea is to sustain yourself. It's not to let yourself get below a certain HP mark. That goes for anybody in any rank. Like, it's why, okay, I might as well just keep adding to this because this has been a pretty deep spectating. Like, do you know how, like, you always hear about doing damage as support? Like, in pro play, what happens is at a certain point, players realize they can't sustain their tank anymore. It's just with the DPS passive, well, I call it the DPS passive, but the overall passive that reduces healing, you just run out of steam. So that's why you then, at a certain point, have to choose, well, if my tank is going to take a bunch of chip damage down to 30% HP, I can't keep him alive. So you start to do damage to make up for the damage being taken on your tank, and then you trade the kills out and then use your utility to keep him alive. If you're on Kiriko, you throw a cleanse and keep him alive, right? That's the idea behind that. And that's why it's so important to recognize and not let your HP get to low amounts like that. And if it does, to be able to be in a spot to position yourself to be able to get healed. Because if you can't alleviate that pressure on you, as much as you want, you know, to be like, oh, my supports won't heal me, I promise you supports want to heal you. Most supports in the game want to keep you alive. But if you stand in the middle of the open and take damage, you will fall over in Overwatch. It just will happen. Here we go. Let's see it happen. Again, no crystal being used, chat. I want you to take note of this. Okay. This is your time. This is your time to go left side now. Not that left side, but the other. Oh, man. Dude, chat, you have no idea how OP this rotation would be right now if you just snuck this way. Dude, you would have had basically a flank kill on a Moira and a Domina, and then maybe if more, dude, anyway, I'm heading back here. Okay, you gotta ult this. Aggressive ult. No, don't ult. Not the ult. There you go. Nice job. Okay, well, I see people, someone mentioned like, oh, how are they at that rank, etc. Listen, here's the thing. We're watching a game that wasn't advantageous for them, right? I can already tell that mechanically, pretty good, right? We've seen a couple good left clicks here and there. Like, you're hitting some shots, right? It's plat level, but it's not bad. The problem is that when you get into situations where you need to worry about the positioning and really focusing on, like, cooldown management, that is lackluster. So when you play against a team that takes advantage of that, you have that pendulum swing between ranks, right? Where you might have 3 games in a row with players playing the exact same way that you play, and you're taking advantage of that yourself, right? You're like, oh, okay, they're not going to have good position. I'm getting kills. But the moment you meet players who understand how to go behind a wall, understand how to use their cooldowns, that's where you lose, and then you have 3 losses in a row, and that's how you have that, like, back and forth, right? You need to be able to make those adjustments in real time. Yep.
How dazzling.
And you've seen it with the aim. The aim's fine. It's everything else. Okay, shield should be down now. Like, shield should already be down because you need to be able to give your time. Oh, man. And that's that. So we'll pause right here. I know you mentioned your DPS and this and that. We're going to ignore all of that. Listen, this is not a DPS issue on your team right now. Like, you're going to hit tab. You're going to see. Don't get me wrong. Your bashing going 9 and 15, probably not ideal, right? But you need to hear me out on this. If your tank is playing this way, you can't expect everybody else to be able to follow suit with that, right? Their tank has been solid the whole time. Barely gets picked off, using their cooldowns on cooldown. Look at their damage, right? 20,000 damage, 6,000 healing. They are constantly putting pressure on your team. So you can't expect your teammates to be able to survive if you're not. It starts that domino effect. It starts with you at that point. You need to be that front and center making these plays consistently, right? You're hesitant. And right now that hesitation is getting your team killed, right? It may not seem like it because you survive more, but you're the tank. You're the raid boss, right? So I really want you to see, domino effect. I see what you did there, Chad. That's kind of funny. So you spent this whole game hoping your teammates would make the play. Their Domina spent the whole game making the plays, which then enables their teammates to make the play. People always go, hey, what, why do you like tank? I like tank because I can enable my teammates to pop off, and in doing so, I pop off, right? If I make my teammates look good, they make me look good, and it's a win-win, right? That's how I approach the tank role. If I help my team pop off, whether that's staying alive, using my cooldowns, doing any of that stuff, it will make them look good, and it will also make me look good, right? That's why I like tanking, okay? Is because I can help my teammates in those areas. This was a game where you basically spectated, right? I basically spectated, you spectated. You were just sitting there waiting for moments to happen. And I hope that when you watch this VOD back, you recognize that your inability to use your cooldowns is what's really causing the problems more than your DPS aren't getting kills. Yeah, of course, 9 and 15 is on an ideal stat line, but your team never had the chance, okay? So, going forward to really help here, and I hope this is helpful information, cooldown management, use your buttons more, okay? And think about Domina as a hero that goes from spot to spot. And you also mentioned, like, your Sigma, like, hero SR is a little bit lower. You can apply the same strategies to Sigma on the rotations. If you can out-rotate people as Domina, if you can get yourself set up to spots, you are going to win so many games in a row. I promise you that. Okay, I can't promise you that, but I hope you will. Okay? You're going to win more games. If you just take rotation by rotation. Use your crystal more, use your pushback more, and please use your ultimate when you get it. Again, I'm not saying use it immediately, but there was 3 moments this game where you held on to your ultimate, waited till the worst possible time to use it, and then used it. So clean that up, and I'm telling you, you're going to see results because the aim is there. I'm not worried about your aim, right? And this goes back to why I have this discussion all the time. Aim is key, right? Like, you're going to need aim at some point, but like, you don't, actually, you don't even need it in some heroes, but like, if you play the buttons correctly and the map correctly and the positioning correctly and the cooldowns correctly, you're going to have a good time. It will lead to good results because you're going to take advantage of that Domina next game that is doing what you're doing, right? You're going to be the other Domina. See how they took advantage of that? You'll be that Domina, and then your scoreline looks like that, and then they're going, where are my DPS at? But see what I'm saying? Improving all that, and I'm telling you, you'll see a climb. I went a little bit more in depth on this one, so I hope that it's helpful. Yeah, I hope that helps. But you can climb. Seriously, you got this. You absolutely got this. You like the video? Make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Leave a comment. All of that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, my Discord's where to do that. And if you want to watch more on how to get better or maybe get better, I don't know. There's a video down here. Click it. It's a good one. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.